Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about Argentina's victory in the FIFA World Cup and the impact it will have on Argentina as a nation. Let's begin. Well, Argentina did it. They won. Messi won. And I want to make this video both to analyze the political impact this will have on Argentina and also to celebrate the victory itself. I must say at first that I am not a football expert. I have played football in school at a inter-school level, but I never played it beyond that. And I'm not a regular follower of the game. I've watched World Cups, I've watched club games once in a while, but I am not an expert at all. So this is not a analysis based on football. This is a political channel, so I'll be making a channel based on that. Video and an analysis based on that. I want to explain to people why this victory is so important for Argentina, why it matters so much for them, and how it could probably help the country in the future. Uh, which is, I think, what happened to India after where it won the 2011 Cricket World Cup. Video. Let's begin. So let's start with the way Argentina celebrated. Here they are in metros, on the streets, little boys, women. One this in this article, Elsa Diaz, a 70-year-old handywoman draped in an Argentina flag, making the same walk she made in 1978 when Argentina won its first World Cup, but this time with her 32-year-old daughter. They are all going to the obelisk. It is our monument in the center of Argentina. So we can see how that somebody 70 years old wanting to celebrate a sports victory shows that this unites the entire country. It, as it says here, soccer, or which I will call as football, is religion. This was among the holiest of Sundays. This is the Sunday when they won. Uh, Argentina was plunged into a sort of rapture. This is their first time winning the championship back to this soccer obsessed country for the first time since 1986. It's been 36 years for them. It's about time. Strangers hugged, friends kissed, grown men wept, and everyone shrieked. So, yeah, this is more than an ordinary victory for football or even footballer. This kind of celebration isn't overly common. Brazil, Argentina, Spain, the UK, and several other footballing countries like in Europe are very passionate about football, but they don't. Not all of them do not worship the game and its players as a religion. It's not their only sport that they're good at. So they don't have great sports infrastructure for most teams. So this is their greatest source of joy. So it's very important for them. That's why they're celebrating like they are. Along the procession, gripping a cane and waving two small Argentina flags. So yeah, people are going crazy. In my country, India, people were cheering for Argentina mainly. Well, I'm sure there are some people who cheered for France. Most people cheered for Argentina because, especially because I think being a developing country like India, uh, India can relate to Argentina, and their passion for football is similar to our passion for cricket, and their culture of strong family ties, of dance and singing, is a bit similar to India's. So I guess we can relate to them on that. Now I'll talk about how this can have an economic impact for Argentina. According to this article by Bloomberg, the World Cup lifts Argentina's economic mood. This image, I think, will become one of the most iconic images in football for this century. I just want to mention that. Argentina's dramatic World Cup win last weekend not only gave the country a long sought third title, but also opened a period of rare popular euphoria that could translate into positive expectations for a crisis prone economy. The impact is likely limited to an extra 0.25 percentage point of economic growth in the 2 quarters following the tournament. Countries that win the World Cup, that their economy benefits in the immediate future. This will be due to only add to a minor boost to growth thanks to increased consumption. And so, yeah, this is going to help them economically and politically. How this will affect Argentina, I'll just have to talk about the fact that uh, their general election is happening next year, which will elect the country's president and vice president. Argentina's has a long history of economic problems. They have one of the world's highest inflation rates as of now, and so they are often not very happy with their governments. But so I hope that in this next election they can elect someone who will help grow their country. Now, will do what is my opinion about their politics. I don't have one yet. I'm not yet delved deep into one it enough. I'll just talk with the opinion polling. Um, Here we can see that uh, there is one party which is clearly leading the polls. So it seems like this one might win next year. How this victory will affect the election is, I think, that if the current ruling government continues to use the economic boost from this victory to continue to grow the economy, I think this year already Argentina has grown by 5%, and their inflation is less than it was a few months ago. So I guess you could give attribute that to the government, but I'm not sure. If, however, that is true, then I think, and if they continue to economically grow Argentina, then I think they can win. But if this economic growth that they're happening is not because of the government and is happening due to maybe states which are ruled by the opposition party or other non-political factors, then people will view the government as a roadblock towards the country's economic development, and that they'll want to change the government for that reason. So that's how I think the victory will affect their politics. And also, I just want to mention that in this opinion poll, there's a hypothetical scenario. This was done on 19th and 20th of December, so right after the victory. It says that as an independent, Messi would win with 36.7 percent of the votes. This is from a sample size of 2,500. The next closest come is at just 12. So, will Messi join politics? I don't know. I have no idea actually what his political opinions are. I haven't been able to find them. I Also don't want to have no uh, say in what Messi does with his life outs, but I hope that he does not enter politics. I know he does a lot of charity work. I think that when he retires from football, that he should continue to focus on charity, not get involved in political and even social issues because not everyone will agree with him in the country, and this will make him a divisive figure for the country, which will not be good. He must remain a unifying, inspiring figure for the country. How did the victory for India in the 2011 World Cup affect it? Well, that was very special because it was Sachin Tendulkar's last World Cup, and he had never won the World Cup before. He had got to the finals about in 2003, 8 years before, and lost. So, and he is widely regarded as India's greatest ever batsman, one of India's greatest ever cricket players in general. Although some would argue, not, I'm not saying he objectively is. I'm just saying he's regarded as the greatest ever. There are others who disagree. Some people think that newer players, current players, are better than him. I don't want to start a debate on that. Um, and when he was playing, and even now, sometimes people refer to him as the god of cricket. So he was very popular. So people really wanted him to win Cup because not only him, but also India had not won a World Cup for a long time since 1983. An entire generation had grown up, and my generation was very young, but had also heard from the our parents about this victory in 1983 and wanted to have victory of our own. So when we got that, it was so special for us. I remember going out on the streets in the family car, uh, screaming out of the windows, cheering with just complete strangers. Some a day at night I'll never forget. And this also in that same year, the Anna Hazare movement against corruption in India, which was a movement to pressurize the parliament to enact a law that would create an organization called the Lokpal, which would be used to fight corruption in the country. Any party that came to power, and Anna Hazare, who is an activist, uh, and was demanding this law for a long time, felt that the government wasn't listening, and so went on a hunger fast. And this caused the country to rally around him to pressure the then Congress government to implement this law. And it was passed in one house, which was considered a victory. Then, and late, but eventually nothing really came out of it. But it did cause massive anger against the government and made people view them as corrupt because many corruption scandals came out later, and the economy started dipping, going, and people were very angry with the government, and they elected a new government, Narendra Modi, who promised not just change from the previous government, but from the entire way India had been governed since independence, saying that he will bring India back to its potential and bring back to its former glory. So I wouldn't be surprised if a movement like that begins in Argentina, that they want to get out of their economic problems. They want politicians who care about the country, who aren't corrupt. And I think that if people with integrity participate in the next election, and not just the next presidential election, but in future state elections as well, then they have a good chance of winnings. Especially so, I think nationalists in Argentina should look into getting into politics to help get the country out of its economic problems. So I hope that happens. I hope that this victory can help them regain their belief in themselves. And yeah, that's what I hope happens. I wish nothing but good luck for Argentina. And as a fan of Messi's from his first World Cup in 2010, I am very grateful to him for winning. I'm very happy for him. 18th of December 2022 was one of the happiest days of my life, and I will always remember it. And I will always remember Lionel Messi for the amount of joy he has given me and to billions of people who love football. So, yeah, thank you, Argentina, and thank you, Messi. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to see other videos about nationalism in countries outside of South Asia, click here. If you want to see my previous video, click here. If you want to see the sources I use for this video, click the links in the description below. Thank you for watching. Vande Mataram.